Okay, so today's we'll study about looping statements. So, what do you mean by looping or iterative statement? Why do you need looping statements or loop statements? So, some statement you have to repeatedly execute those statements. Repeatedly execute mean I print hello world 5 times. So the statement is printing a hello world. Okay, that should be iterated or executed 5 times or maybe 100 times. Okay, so for those statements we will use loop structure like while, do while, or for. Three ways we can use this loop statement. So first of all, you will see how to execute these statements using while loop. Okay, so let us see the slide first. Okay, so basically our loop statement, this is also a block statement. So first of all, the initialization of statement will happen. Okay, and so how do you know that how many times that statement will be executed? For tracking that, you need a iterator or a counter. Here, so counter is I. So you have to declare that I, and how do you declare? Just like you are declaring a variable, data type, then counter, then you can initialize those value, or otherwise I can initialize inside a for block. Okay, so that I will see. First of all, you see in the while loop how do you start. Suppose I want to print hello world 100 times. Okay, so first of all I will start a initial statement. So I will declare I, that is int I is equal to 1. So then I will put this statement like this: while I is greater small than equal to 100. Okay, if I will start from 0, then I less than 100, or if I will start with I equal to 1, then I will be less than equal to 100. So that condition I is less than 100, that will be inside this parenthesis, left parenthesis and right parenthesis. Then this curly braces start, left curly braces, then while block will start. Whatever statements are there inside these braces, that belongs to while block. So that will be executed that many times. Okay, and yes, this is a comment section. Do something, that means I will execute system.out.println hello world, then I plus plus, I will be incremented. So we will use increment operator. So I will be incremented. So what will be the value of I now? When you will start with I equal to 1 before while loop, here I value will be 2. So the command will go to once again to this condition statement, I is less than 100. I is 2 now. Since 2 is less than 100, so it will execute to this system output println hello world once more thing. Similarly, it will go till 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 till 100. When I will do 100, then it will check 100 less than 100, no, false. So it will come out of this while block. Okay. So this will print system.out.println hello world 99 times. Okay, and if I want to print 100 times, then I will initialize with or I is equal to 0, and the condition will be I less than 100. So there are three main things inside while loop. One is initialize statement, that is the starting point. you have to initialize the counter or iterator I is equal to 0. Then we have a condition checking statement where we will check whether the counter value is before the limit or end point. The 100 will be the end point, till 100 I will iterate. Okay. Then increment operator inside the while block. Then whatever the statements inside the while block, that will be executed 100 times. So this is all about while loop. Okay, and we'll see one example. Okay, we will go to Eclipse and let us see. Okay, so here is our code. So what will you do? First of all, I want to print the integers from 1 to 100. Suppose I want to print the integers I 1 to 100. Okay. So before that, suppose I want to print hello world 100 times. So we will run that program first. System.out print ln hello world. Let's comment this out. So double backslash, this belongs to comment statements. These are comment statements. Okay, so this will be discarded by the compiler. Okay, so this will not be executed. Simply, if you want to print some comment, then or write some comment inside the program file or Java file, you can use this double backslash. Okay, now I want to, what is our objective? I want to print hello world 100 times. So I have to initialize one counter, that is I. This is the counter, or you can call it iterator. Okay, and I is equal to 1. This is the starting point. You can call this is the starting point. Now n till how many times? N is equal to 100. Now what is n? This is the end point where the loop will stop. Okay, so this is the end point. Now we have initialized these values. Now I have to write the condition. We have already seen here condition checking statement, this one. So here we will go and we will check whether I less than n. Okay, till n this will be executed. Okay, now I is equal to 1. This condition is satisfied. I is less than 100, so it will go inside this block. So what is the while block? Whatever statements are there after the left parenthesis and before right parenthesis of immediate while, this statement that it belongs to while block. Okay, so this is total while block. This should be executed. So this is the comment section. This is the comment section. This is our this is a value statement. So what is this? System.out println hello world. So it will be printed, and then I will be incremented. So increment operator also you can use, or otherwise I can write I equal to I plus 1. Okay, then once again I will be checked with n. So the command will go to from this line number 19 to line number 12. Inside the parenthesis, it will check whether I is less than n. What is n? 100. So I is equal to 2. 2 is less than 100. So it will once again this will print hello world. Then I will be incremented further. I is equal to 3. Then it will once again it will check with n. It is true. Then it will go inside the while block. It will look hello world will be printed. Then it will go to next increment operation. Then it will iterate till I is equal to 100. When I is equal to 100, then this condition doesn't satisfy. I is less than 100. 100 is less than 100? No. 100 is equal to 100. So this is false. This will come out of this block. And suppose there is another statement after while block outside the while loop. So after that it will print the outside while loop. So it will print system out println hello world 100 times. Then it will print the while this outside while loop. The command will go to the next statement. So let us run this first, then run jar listen, proceed. Okay, so you can see here this will be hello world 100 times, then finally it will print outside value. Okay, now our next task is how to track that how many times I have printed. Suppose I want to see, so I can print another statement that system.out.println ith value is I. So I am printing the counter value. So by writing this, I can track how many times I have printed the hello world. So let us run this. Okay, so we will start from I is equal to 1 till 100. It will print 99 times, then loop. If I want to print 100 times, I will be I is less than equal to 9, then I will print, then yes. So this will be, I will start from 1, okay, till 100. After 100 loop will finish, it will go to outside loop. Okay, this is small example for while loop. So how do you write this while loop? Okay, so now these are the basic things for writing while loop. Now next we will go to do while loop. Yes, so another way we can write loop statements using do while loop. So how do you write do while loop? Let's see. Okay, so in while loop we have a initialization condition, initialization of a iterator, then condition checking, then iteration. In do while loop, what happen? I will execute the statements first, initialization happens first, then execution of statements, iteration, then in the end condition checking will happen. So this is the syntax. So do, we will use the keyword do, then left parenthesis start, then right parenthesis, then in between that increment operation happen, or I can write execute any other statement I want to repeat. Suppose I want to print hello world 100 times. So let us see how will you use do while loop, and we will see. So here you can see after right parenthesis we have written this keyword while, then condition checking whether I is less than n, then semicolon. This is the difference between loop and while loop. Okay, so here condition checking is has happened after executing a statement and iteration statement. Okay, so this is the initialization. So let us see, I is equal to 0, n is 100, then you will go inside this block. Okay, first of all it will go inside this block, then it will iterate, it will execute the statement system.out.println, then I plus plus, I will increment it, then it will check whether I is less than n. So I will be 1 now, 1 is less than 100. So yes, the condition satisfied. Once again it will go inside this do while loop, then system.out.println I, then I plus plus increment operation will happen. So I will value will be 2, then after that while condition will be checked. Okay, so this is the basic difference between loop of while and do while, and both are useful while writing program. In some cases we may need execution of statement at least once, so for that purpose we can use do while loop. In while, otherwise while loop fast condition check happens, so that is the basic difference. Okay, so let us run this program and in our Eclipse and try. We will use the same example. Let us see whether that is there. Dual, yes, already the program is there. Okay, yes, so I want to print hello world 100 times. Let us write this program. Okay, so This is the class file. This is the public static void main string method. Inside that I will write a do while loop for printing print hello world 100 times. So how we will do? So I have taken a iterator, that is I, or a counter. I have initialized this one, this is 1, and I have taken another variable n, and this is our endpoint. Let us take as 100. Okay, and this is our endpoint. Okay, and I is equal to 1. Let us start. This is start point. Okay, now what is your syntax? First do keyword, then this braces, left braces, then right braces, then while I is less than n. Okay, this is the condition checking. And inside do while loop we will write, let us write system dot out dot println hello. Okay, and how many times I iterate? I want to see, so I will check I is less than. So let us check I is less than equal to n. Okay, and let us run this program. Okay, yes. So here I will start from 1 hello world, then it will print the number of times the integer value, that many times it will be printed. Then I will 100, then what happened? 100 it will print. Then in case of 101 the condition will be not satisfied, false, then it will come out of this loop. Then it will print the next statement, that is after the while statement, this do while block statement, this statement will be executed outside of do while. Okay, so this is a small example of writing a loop statement or iterate statement using do while. Okay, so here the key points: initialization happen, yes, we have used iterator, and endpoint initialize happens. Then our do while block, this is the block. Inside the do while block I have used the increment operator, then I is equal to I plus 1, then condition check. Okay, this is all about do while loop. Now next loop statement is for loop. Okay, before going that, let us follow. Yes. Okay, so this is another way of writing a loop statement or iterative statement in Java. Okay, first this is the syntax. Suppose I want to print hello world 100 times. Same task we will do with for loop. So how will you do? You use this keyword for. Inside left parenthesis and right parenthesis there are, you have to append 3 statements. Okay, first those statements or those expressions are separated by semicolon. So initialization is one statement or expression, another expression is conditional checking, semicolon, then increment operation. So these 3 expression or operations are well separated by semicolon, and they are merged inside the this parenthesis, left and right parenthesis. This is the syntax. Okay, the rest things are same as while loop. Okay, then we will start a while loop. How do you start? This is the left braces and right braces. Inside that I only write system.out.println hello world. Whatever the statements I want to execute, and that statement will be inside the for loop. Other statement like initialization, condition checking, and increment operation will happen have been written inside a parenthesis. This for left parenthesis and right parenthesis. Okay. So first of all, initialization happen. So I can write I is equal to 0. Okay. Then condition checking I less than n. So condition check will happen next. It will be checked whether I is less than n. Suppose n is 100, yes. 0 is less than 100, true. So since it is true, the command will go inside this for loop. Whatever the block is there that is marked in blue ink, that will be executed. Then increment operation will happen, just like while loop, but the syntax is you have to write in this way. Okay, so there are 3 ways you can write using loop statements in Java. One is while, do while, and for loop. Okay, so let us see this example also, and we will run this one. Okay, yes. So I want to print hello world. Print hello world. Hello world 100 times. Okay. So what will happen in while loop? Okay. So this is while loop. So I have to write in for loop. So let us start. I have to take a iterator or counter. This is the counter or iterator. I can initialize or no need to initialize. I can initialize this way. We'll see. Then how do you write for loop? For I is equal to 1 I less than n, then I plus. What is n? N is 100. This is our endpoint. Then I want to print. So then this is left braces. Then I want to print hello world. Out dot print ln new line hello. Okay, so no need to write this increment operation as you have done in while loop. Increment operation has been done here. Okay, or you can write simply I is equal to I plus 1, or simply you can write I plus plus. Okay, so this is the basic syntax of writing I is equal to for loop. So how many times it will run? This will run 100 times. First statement it will print hello world. So let us start. I is equal to 1. Then condition checking happens. This is n I is less than 100. Yes, true. Then it will allow the command to go inside the for loop. So here are 2 statements. Both are system.out println print statements. One is printing, first statement is printing hello world, and next one printing the index or the counter value. So let us run this and see. All the one has been done. These are all codes. For loop ends, starting method ends. This is the class method. And let us run this one second. Yes. So I will start hello world will print first, then it will print the iterator value, counter value I is equal to 1, then I is equal to 2, hello world 3, 4 till 100. Okay, so this way I can write, or I can write I will declare the variable itself here inside the for loop, this parenthesis. Okay, int I equal to 1. I can write in this way also, and then I less than n I plus plus. Okay, or I can write in this way also. No need to let us execute this first one. This will run. Yes, this will run. And run. Okay, this will run. This is a valid statement. So I can declare the variable inside this for loop also, or I will declare initialization happen here, and I don't want to initialize here, so no need to write here. So I can do also like this. Okay, so these are various syntax you can write the for loop, but this is the most appropriate syntax. Okay, so you can use this one, and similarly you can do the same thing with while or do while loop. Okay, so these are the very basic thing you can do with the for loop. Now what is a nested loop? Okay, so let us see what is a nested loop. Yes, here what is a nested while loop? So this is nothing but a while loop inside another while loop. Okay, suppose I want to execute counting numbers. Okay, and inside that, while doing that counting numbers, I want to execute another task. Okay, suppose I want to find a arithmetic progression series or geometric progression series till that number. So those are both cases. There are two different conditions. I can nest. Okay, so how do you write? So I similarly, while I have to initialize the value, initialize int I equal to 0 and 100. While loop condition 1. Okay, here condition 1 I can check whether I is less than 100 or I is less than n, or while this condition is true or not. Okay, inside this block, this is the while loop. Okay, so I can embed another while loop. Okay, so this is not a valid statement. Okay, okay, so inside that I can put another while block. This is called nested of loop. Similarly, do while loop also be can be nested. So we'll see some cases while do some example. This is all about nested while loop. Similarly, I can write nested for loop. For loop. Okay. Inside that I can write another for loop. Okay. So we'll see a example. Then it will be very helpful. Let us see. Yes, see, so this is just for I. There are two counter, I and j. Okay, so no need to initialize. I have initialized here. Okay, in the for loop for I is equal to 1, I less than equal to 5, I plus plus. So this first loop will run how many times? 5 times. I will start from 1 and with 5, so I plus plus with increment with 1, so it will run 5 times. And these 5 times what will it do? This is a for loop block for I, iterator I or counter I. Inside that these statements will be executed. Here this is a single statement, and this is a block statement for another for loop. So here you can see j will start from 1 and j is less than 10, j plus plus. So this is another loop, and this will run how many times? I is equal to 1 to 10. 10 times it will print it. So you can see for each I, j will be, j loop will be executed. Okay, plus this statement will be printed, and this is how many times j will run? That will be 10 times. Okay, so let us run this. In some cases we may need nested loop, for loop, while loop, or do while loop. We have to nest those. So let us see an example. Let us run this one. Okay, yes. Let us go to start. I is equal to 1. Okay, so here when I is equal to 1, I is less than 5, condition satisfied, it will go inside the ith loop, or for loop, it will print ith value is 1. Then it will be executed. This block will be executed since it is inside this for loop. So this is a for loop, so this will be executed. So j will initialize with 1, and j will check with the condition that j should be less than equal to 10. So then this statement will be printed, jth value is j. So how many times it will be executed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 8, 10. Then after executing, this command will go once again to this condition, I is less than 5. So what is the I value? I value will be incremented, that will be 2. So once again this will be incremented, ith value will be 2, ith value will be 2, and once again this for loop value will be, or for loop will be executed. So same thing, j will start from 1, it will check whether j is less than 10. Yes, since j is 1, so j is this, so this will go to this block. Okay, so j value will be printed. Once again this will be incremented, so j value will be 2 till 10, this will be printed. Okay, so there are some cases where you need this nested loop. Okay, so let us stop here. Okay, we have seen today, one is while loop, do while loop, and for loop, simple while loop, do while, and for loop, and then another nested for loop and nested while loop. Okay. Similar thing can be done with do while loop also. That loop also you can be nested. So you can use any number of loop inside another loop step. Okay, here we have seen two loops, one loop inside one other loop. There may be cases where there may be number of loops, such as 4, 5, 10, 100 loops inside a single loop. Okay, that can be nested. That is called nested. Okay, any doubt? You just let me know. We'll stop here. Okay, in next class we will see more examples on this loop.